everyone. Welcome to the show today. Ask the Psychic Medium with me, Bonnie Page. How are you all doing today? I'm so excited to start a new show on Lemonster TV, and I will be going live after this on Medium Bonnie Page Facebook. That will be like next week, but I'm so happy to have you here. This show is going to be a little bit about everything spiritual, and it's also going to let viewers ask questions about the spiritual world or anything that you have a question for. I'm going to be answering some questions. I'm going to be giving everybody a reading today, so don't go anywhere. We're going to do a 3-card pull, something that's meant for everyone, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And if you want to follow me on Medium Bonnie Page on Facebook, I will be going live at some point and can answer your questions on there too, and maybe do some mini readings, and so it'll be fun. I think it'll be a fun show and very interactive. So if you want to send in a question to Bonnie at bonniepagemedium.com, you can send in your questions. You can call my office. And again, go follow me on Medium Bonnie Page on my Facebook page. So today's show is going to be a subject that comes up pretty often, where people say to me, what am I getting for signs? Is my loved one trying to tell me something? And that's the title of today's show. Are your loved ones trying to tell you something? And you know, your loved ones love you, right? So the new way to have a conversation after someone passes to the spiritual side of life, the higher side of life, is to send down signs. And believe me, I do readings all day long, and I'll ask the person in heaven, if they didn't tell me first, what are you sending your mom for a sign? What are you sending your dad for a sign? What are you doing for signs? Because I know from having people, loved ones in heaven, that it's so important to know that you're still communicating with them. And you very much are. Some people don't know what the spiritual world can do, and it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to take you through some of the ways that your loved ones can communicate with you today, and then I'll do that reading for everyone, and I'll show you how to use a deck of cards that you can get a reading for yourself every day, like I do. I don't wait to be with a medium or a psychic. If you have a deck of cards, you can also build up the relationship between you and your angels, your guides, the spiritual world, that can offer some guidance for you here. So let's start with how your loved ones can communicate with you from the other side. And I'm going to start with one that's maybe not out there as popular as some of the others, but I was doing a reading last week, and a young man came in, and his reading was going on, and all of a sudden his spirit communicator, his loved one, said he could see my eyes in the face of someone else. And I was like shocked, because I've never heard that before, but I have experienced it before. So I looked at the gentleman and I said, do you understand, actually, like your loved one transposed his face onto another so you could get a glimpse into his eyes once again? And I was shocked. I shouldn't be shocked, because the spirit world knows what they're doing, but the young man said, yes, I was at a gas station and I went to pay and I couldn't take my eyes. It just happened for like 10 seconds, he said, but it was the face of my loved one. And I actually know that this happens to be so true, because it's happened to me through the years, even back 30 years ago. Don't want to be dating myself, but even 30 years ago, I was standing in line waiting to check out, and I gazed at the cashier, and her face had the face of my friend that had passed very young. Same blue eyes. They were like, I just saw my friend standing there. And I was like, I was looking around like, and then it was gone. And then it was the cashier. But that happened to me before I knew that this could happen. So what I want to say is be on the lookout for someone that has mannerisms like your loved one, and transposing their face. Look into the eyes of people. Sometimes we don't do that so much anymore, but really the eyes, right? The window to the soul. Another time, maybe this happens a lot at gas stations. I was at a gas station after my father passed, and this man came to hold the door, and he had a hat on, and he was in World War II. My dad was in World War II. The man was a little hunched over, and I opened the door for him, and he's like, oh, you're such a sweetheart. And that's something my dad always said to me, you're such a sweetheart. And then the man just came and stood behind me and was talking to me, and the things that he was saying was like so spot on, like I was having a conversation with my dad. I mean, exact words. I even bought the man his donut and his coffee, but truly everything about this man, he was the same age. He just dressed the same. I went out to my car, I shut the door, and I just bawled because it was really like standing with my dad again. So look for the signs. That is just one of the ways that your loved ones can communicate with you. Another thing is people ask me all the time, I'm hearing knocking at the door. And that's always spirit wanting to make sure that they're getting your attention. So they really can knock and you hear it. And I know that to be a fact too, because that's happened to me several times. Now, years ago, when my mom was still here and my brother was in heaven, we would sit at the kitchen table in her house. And whenever we were together, the refrigerator would start banging and making all of these noises, and we would look at each other and we would go, it's Dickie, he's here. So my brother in heaven. And he'd knock a few more times, knock the refrigerator around a little, and then his presence would be gone. But yes, your loved ones can affect anything electrical because we're all energy. They're all energy. They're still your loved ones. There's still that energy that wants to be around you and talk to you. So how about flickering lights? Anybody have any light bulbs that go on and off and flicker and they're not supposed to be? Or a light goes on and the switch isn't even on. It's amazing what they can do with light bulbs. So flickering lights, music going on. I have to tell you, I have my phone right here. My phone has even received a text before of someone that wanted to come through because her granddaughter was sitting in front of me. Both the granddaughter and myself was like, what? And I said to the spirit person, the Grammy, I said, what are you doing? And she goes, you're used to that. And I wasn't. That's like the first time someone had actually texted me. But what did that woman do for work, for a living? She worked for computers, with computers. So she was a tech person, and she knew how to use that energy to get that message across. But there's so many things here. Sometimes you don't realize that your loved one is communicating but when you get a thought of them, like even a thought, like why did I just think of my mom then? Or you get a smell, like, oh, I smell Grammy's, perfume or her soap. Or my granddad comes around, he lets me smell his cigar. And I had to actually call my mom and ask if my grandpa had smoked cigars. So she said either a cigar or a pipe all the time. So he would come around and I would smell that. I have to tell you something funny. My mom all these years would use Bengay on me. Bengay since I was little. I grew up having sinuses and my mom would use Bengay on everything. It didn't matter if you had a pain or not. You would get the Bengay on you because it would help you breathe, right? So after my mom passed, I was sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden I'm like, Bengay? And then I remembered, oh, mom's coming through. There's Bengay, right? So they're gonna give you something that eventually you're gonna say, oh yeah, that must have been them, right? That's what they do. They're gonna come through with something familiar to you. So the other way that they come through is very much through music. So it's the spirit world, when I'm giving a reading, will either show me like an old-fashioned clock radio that they're turning on, and it'll either be in the kitchen or they'll show me that this clock is in the person's car or truck, right? Which is kind of fun, because when they show me music in somebody's car, I take the time to kind of look around. Well, let me see the inside of this car, because that's mediumship, right? And I can do that. So music very much. And if I give the spirit world enough time, I'll be like, what music? What? Like sometimes they'll even play me a song, right? You Are My Sunshine, or songs I've never heard of, but the person sitting in front of me very much knows the song. So the other day I was giving a reading to someone younger, and the person from the spirit world, I'm like, he's giving me music, but I'm not really understanding it, and I'm going, there's some kind of head banging music he said I wouldn't understand. And the young gentleman said, oh yeah, he did rap. Well, I never listened to that music. Not that it's bad. I'm just saying I didn't know like words, or maybe he didn't want me to hear the words. I don't know. But I got the point across, and they were like, oh my. Oh my. So just know music is a big one. And we have to mention the birds, right? We have to mention the cardinal coming, or the blue jays, or the fireflies, or the butterflies, or my mom sends me ladybugs even in the winter when they shouldn't be alive. But it's so funny, when the cardinal comes, my husband, and it comes to our window and it starts eating out of the bird feeder, my husband and I will kind of go have a little fight over whose dad it is, right? So it's the boy bird of the cardinal. I'll say, my dad's here, and my husband will say, no, that's my dad. But just know that really is, the cardinal is a messenger from heaven, right? So it could be your dad. It just could be an angel or someone knowing that you need to have a sign from heaven. But messengers for God, a very, very spiritual bird. And I always ask the spirit world when the person coming through, what kind of bird are you sending them? Because sometimes it's not just a cardinal, and they'll show me a different bird, or they'll even show me a white bird or a yellow bird, and it's something the person has seen, right? Because we need to have the correct information so they're understanding their message. The other way your loved ones can come through is very much connect with you, kind of blend their aura with your aura. And what does that do? It might give you tingles, you might feel a breeze, you might feel like you're getting a big hug from heaven. Sometimes I used to go, oh, why in this moment it just feels like I'm unconditionally loved? Because that's what heaven is about, right? Being unconditional love. So goosebumps, shifts of temperature. Some people feel cold, some people feel hot. That breeze. I always know when I'm spot on in a reading, their loved one will blend with me all up and down my body to make sure that I really tell this piece of information. So if you're a feely person, you might get feelings within your body. And then we've already talked about music and lyrics, right? The lyrics, they'll say, this is the song, have them Google the lyrics and there'll be another whole message for them. So I think we covered a lot of them, and I bet you guys have more ways that your loved one comes through for you as well. And sometimes it is just that knowing that they're with you. But if you have another way, write it in the comments or let me know. Send me an email. Bonnie@bonniepagemedium.com is my business email, and I'll get your email. And I will try to get a message back to you. They're just showing me I didn't do the clouds and the rainbows, but the clouds very much can turn into angels or pictures of your loved ones or a sign from heaven. It really, really works. So if you go outside and there's some clouds out there, but it's a beautiful day, right? We're just going to picture beautiful blue skies and there's clouds up above there. Give it a moment. Go out there and set that intention. I would like a message today. And then stare up and give it 5 or 10 minutes. Let the clouds pull together. I've done it. It works. They can do it. It's amazing. I even do it at the beach. Let me see something. Let me see something. Remember, set your intention so that you're recognizing the signs that your loved ones are so close around you. They never leave you. They know when your birthdays are. They give me birthday cakes to give to you. They know when a baby's been born. They've held your baby before it ever came to earth. They know about these things. So don't think that you've lost someone to heaven, because it's just not true. They're not here physically, but their soul is with you. And don't forget the coins from heaven, the pennies from heaven, the white feathers from heaven, bells ringing, really just any way that they can get through to you, they're going to try because they love you. So that's how your loved ones now communicate with you. So are your loved ones trying to tell you something? Absolutely, because why would they not want to give you a little guidance here? Why would they not want you to feel totally unconditionally loved from heaven? They would not want you to feel alone. There has never been a time where someone came for a reading and I didn't have someone, a loved one that they knew, come through for them. You know, that's another question that gets asked too. What if my loved ones don't show up? Well, there's loved ones that are all around you. They're probably there. They come in before you even do for a reading. Sometimes I'm chatting with them. They are there. Please just remember that, and then you won't feel so alone. So at this time, I'm going to bring my cards in. I created these cards. These are called Your Soul Knows. And these cards very much are about earthly things, giving advice from above, something that you might be stuck on or just wondering about. So it could be your career or your love life or moving or retirement or money, health-wise, anything that's going on in your earthly journey. Right? And we all have something that's going on in our earthly journey. Now, this is how this one reading is going to be for all of you. I set that intention that today you're going to hear something that each one of you needs to hear. And so what I'm going to ask you all to do is sit back for a minute, close your eyes, and think of a question that you would like answered. Sit back, take some deep breaths. There you go, some deep breaths. Bring it to your heart, let it out. Connect with the spirit world and just give them something that you would like to have a little guidance on today. And I'm going to draw 3 cards and give a reading to everyone. So what's going to happen is if you hear something that you will, that resonates with you, then this is for you. Okay? So we just take a deck of cards and you want to shuffle them like I always do. And if you're wondering how to clear a deck, it's just by knocking on it and going like that and sending the old energy away. So we're just going to do this. Now I am just going to do this and send up the intention. Archangel Michael helps me pull cards a lot. So I'm just going to ask Archangel Michael to help me pull the cards. Now you can either spread them out like this and pick 2 or 3 cards for yourself, or even one like I do every morning for myself, or you can just do this and go through. This is how I do when I am pulling a card for someone, and I get a feeling. I get a feeling to what card needs to be pulled. And so I go ahead and I look at the 3 cards that are meant for all of you. And I'll start from the beginning, and I'm just going to put the reading together that way. And you know, if you did it for yourself in the morning, it would just be a little pick-me-up thing. What does the spirit world want me to know? So this is for each and every one of you, which I love. So the first card I got was celebration, friendship, and fun. And the message with this is let the celebration begin. So if you have a wedding coming up, there's a birthday coming up, I feel like there's a vacation coming up, this is the spirit world saying, this is your time to be together with people you love and to celebrate. So if you're wondering about taking that cruise, because they're showing me someone's gonna take a cruise, that this is the time. This is the time. This was a good decision to put that celebration together. The second card that goes with the celebration is harmony, affection, and love. And the message that goes with this card is make the right choices to bring your soulmate into your life. Now, your soulmate always isn't a romantic relationship, right? And the first card over here had friendship. So your soulmates can also be those girls that you hang out with. So celebration, friendship, fun, harmony, affection, and love. It's all good to go for you. Just make the right choices. What does that mean, make the right choices to bring your soul mates into your life? Because you have more than one soulmate. That would mean to bring in friends that honor you. Bring in friends that nurture you, love you, care for you. They're not going to slam the door in the face. They're not going to talk behind your back. It's about making the right choices that you let into your life and your circle and your soul and your energy, right? We're energetic beings. So make the right choices to let the right people stay in your life. And sometimes, unfortunately, just shutting a door on someone that's just not quite on the same page, because that energy will end up bringing your energy down. But this card just says harmony, affection, and love. So make the right choices. You'll know deep within you whether someone's honoring your soul or they're taking from your soul. This next card I get a lot for people because it's about being not being able to sleep. You might have a worry or a despair there, and the card message is change your bedtime routine. And I'm gonna tell you, this happened to me actually last night. So if you're up watching TV or you're playing on your phone and you're watching the news or you're seeing unpleasant things, and then you just decide you're gonna go to bed, you're gonna go to sleep. Well, you bring those thoughts and those worries and that destruction into your dream time with you. So this just says change your bedtime routine. So if you're doing that like I did last night, you really want to try doing a meditation or sitting quietly, maybe having a cup of yogi herbal tea. I tried that and it really works. So just a few moments to unwind. You know, watch a funny show before you go to bed. Watch something uplifting. I wouldn't play on your phone like I do sometimes. I gotta give that up too. So leave that sleeplessness behind because you just won't wake up feeling refreshed. So your card reading for this week is celebration, fun, friendship, family, harmony, affection, love. Go on that vacation, get your friends together, celebrate someone's birthday, and just remember to listen to your soul when you're allowing people in your inner group. And then for the third card, leave the yucky stuff behind before you try to fall asleep, and your dreams and your sleep time are gonna be that much better. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. And remember to send in your questions, Bonnie at bonniepagemedium.com. Follow my page, Medium Bonnie page. We will be going live next time, so I'll be interacting that way too. And we're even gonna do some little readings on here as well. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time.